know how long it's been since I actually gave a book 5 stars. Months. It has been months. And I need to change that because I need to fall in love with a book ASAP. So this video is basically me trying to find a 5-star read. I'm not gonna stop filming this video until I have a 5-star read. I don't think that I have ever done this sort of video, but I'm really excited. I love watching them, so I thought might as well do one. I'm gonna start with the first book that I am reading this year, and I'm gonna finish with the first 5-star of the year. The first book that I picked up this year is Sinbin by Chelsea Curto. I am halfway through it, and I don't think that it's going to be a 5-star. I'm thinking that it's going to be around 3.5 stars. I'm not loving the execution. I'm loving the plot. I'm loving the premise of the book, but I'm not loving the execution, which is really sad because I love Chelsea Curto and I have loved this series. Every single book has been 4 stars and above, so I'm really disappointed that I'm not loving this one, but that's okay. We're gonna still finish it, and I'm hoping that it's not gonna take me a long time to find a 5-star read.
I've learned that there's an art to changing. That I'm the potter and the clay. I'm the canvas and the painter. The marble that I sculpt.
I wanted to give you an update. I finished Sinbin and I started another book. I started Something Like Fate, I think it's called, by Amy Lee. But let me tell you my thoughts on Sinbin. I liked it. I had fun with it. I wouldn't say that it's necessarily a bad book. It's just, it's not 100% my type of book. I think I'm gonna give it 3.25. I definitely think that it's the worst in the series, and I'm really sad about it because the premise of the book was so good and the whole book could have been so good, but it missed the mark for me. So I think that that's gonna be my rating. I'm happy that I read it. I am gonna continue with the series. Obviously I have read 5 books already. I am gonna finish the series. There's 2 books left, and I'm hoping that those books are gonna be better than this one and that they're going to be more like the first 4 books in the series. Now, Something Like Fate by Emily, another disappointing book. I wasn't expecting a lot of things, to be honest, because I haven't seen a single person talking about this book, and I think on Goodreads it says that it's young adult. I don't know if it is because they're both in university, so I feel like young adult is when they are in high school, right? I think that maybe young adult is because it doesn't have any spice in it. Maybe that's why. It does feel very high school coded. It doesn't feel that much like university. It feels more like high school, a bit like irresponsible parties, that kind of stuff. At least the beginning of it, because now we are in Italy. But yeah, I'm not liking it. It doesn't feel like the regular Emily writing that I know. I have read 4 books in the past from this author. I think I have read like pretty much every single book that she has. I haven't read the one that came, I think it's called The Bodyguard Affair. I haven't read that, but I have read 4 other books. So I would like to think that I know the writing, I know what to expect, and this is not that. I don't know what is going on with me being disappointed with books. But yeah, we're not starting the year off great. I'm actually listening to the audiobook, and that's why I'm not DNFing it. I am 60% through it. I think I'm just gonna start something else, like reading something else too, physically reading it, and I'm gonna have this as an audiobook kind of like in the background. When I'm doing things and I need something to listen to, I'm gonna be like, oh, let me put on this audiobook. Because yesterday I sat and I was like, oh my gosh, it's going to be so short. I'm just gonna binge it, finish it in a day. I could not do it. I was so bored. So I think that that's what I'm gonna do. I'm hoping that I will finish it pretty soon. Like, I don't want to drag it out, but it's just, if I was physically reading it, I would have DNF'd it. I don't care about the characters. The writing feels so not bad, but there's nothing special about it. I don't really care about the characters. I don't really like how the characters are portrayed. I don't know how to explain it. It's just, I don't care. I think that that's like the big thing. I don't care about either of them. I don't care about her. I don't care about the whole magical realism aspect of it. I'm not liking the magical realism aspect of it. So I think I'm just gonna like try and listen to it while I'm doing other things, and hopefully that can make it go by a bit faster, because I'm not enjoying it. I'm not having fun, but I do want to finish it. I don't want to have like a DNF so soon in the year, so I am gonna continue listening to it. I have in fact gotten sick. Hopefully you cannot hear it, but I'm pretty sure that you can. My voice has changed a bit and it was worse. This is me kind of getting better, so I am gonna keep this short. I did in fact finish Something Like Fate. I think I'm gonna give it 2.5 stars. I didn't like it. It just kept getting worse. I didn't care about any of the characters, and the whole book felt very young, even though it shouldn't, because they're in university, they're not in high school, but it felt like they were in high school. And also, there was a trope that I didn't know going into it. I did suspect it because you get a few hints before it actually happens. But yeah, that trope is not my favorite. And also just the whole book, the whole writing felt so mediocre, and I don't know why, because I know that Amy Lee knows how to write. Maybe the book was rushed, I don't know, but I didn't like it. And I ended up starting Perfect Strangers. This is a newer release and I was intrigued about it because basically we have two male characters and both of them are supposed to go on this trip with a significant other, but both of their significant others kind of like ditched them, I guess. So one of them was supposed to be getting married and this trip would be his honeymoon, and the other one was supposed to be going with his best friend that he was trying to kind of express his feelings towards, I guess. So both of them end up going on this trip alone and they're supposed to pretend that they are actually married and this is their honeymoon. That's like the part that I almost got to. I read 15% of the book and I have decided to put it down for now. I don't know if I'm fully DNFing it, but it was so hard for me to read that 15%, and 15% of that book is 50 pages. I was struggling. It could not get me interested at all. I didn't like the characters. One of them felt very childish and the other one felt very bad boy, but not in a good way. He was so stereotypical playboy, and also the book started with, I think, the third chapter. The playboy character, he was entering the Mile High Club with a flight attendant, and we had details. Like, it wasn't like it was just mentioned. No, we had details, and I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about spicy scenes with other characters and not with the main characters. I don't know. That's just me. Maybe I will continue reading it. Maybe I will just DNF it. But I don't know. It didn't keep me interested, and also it dumped so many names. One of the things that I'm a firm believer of, you cannot mention a bunch of names in the first two chapters. I get it that it's the beginning of the book, so you're trying to introduce everyone and kind of set the vibe, but I am a firm believer that you need to do that gradually. If you dump 5 different names at me, and that's without the main characters, so with the main characters it's like 7 different names, I'm gonna be confused, I'm gonna be overwhelmed. You need to do that a bit gradually. From the first chapter there were 5 different names, and then we go into the second chapter and there were 4 more names, and I'm like, are you joking? I cannot do that. Like, I don't remember who half of these people are, and I don't think that it's helping the fact that I am in a somewhat reading slump. I wouldn't say that I'm fully in a reading slump, it's just that nothing sounds good to me. So I went through my Kindle library, I went through all of the books, I went through the old books that I had, and I found The Devil Wears Black. And I remember hearing about this book a while ago and I downloaded it, but I never read it. So I decided to pick it up, give it a chance, because I want something that will be entertaining. It can be bad, but it needs to be entertaining and not annoying and frustrating. I am 5% in, so not far at all, but that 5% was so easy to actually read, so I'm feeling hopeful. I don't think that it's going to be a 5-star read, let's be honest, but I'm hoping that it's going to give me the motivation to just keep going and maybe pick up a book and actually enjoy it. I feel like even if I did actually pick a book that I would give 5 stars, I wouldn't like it because I'm kind of not that obsessed with reading right now. So for that reason, I think that any book would just not do it for me. So I'm hoping that after I finish this one, it will be kind of like a reset and I'm gonna be ready to find a 5-star read. And also I'm hoping that I'm not gonna be sick anymore because it's really annoying. Remember when I said that I was really liking this book? I take that back. At first, the banter that the 2 characters had was fun, was exciting. Now, not so much. I'm liking her, I'm liking the female main character, but the guy is just a giant baby. He comes off as way too cocky, and at the same time he's so offensive. How he talks about her. We got a chapter, I think it was just 1 chapter from his point of view, and I was like, oh my gosh, I don't want to be in your head. He's just sexualizing her. He's talking so poorly of her. And also, they used to date. They used to be together for 5 months, and apparently he didn't realize that they were in an actual relationship until 5 months in, when C said something along the lines, oh, you're my boyfriend. And I kid you not, C says that she needs him to respect her boundaries. And he's like, I didn't know you were into that. She obviously asks, when did I not respect your boundaries? And do you know what he thinks? When you made me your boyfriend without my consent. Are you 5? I don't know, just wild. I do think that I'm gonna keep going for a tiny bit, but if it just keeps getting worse, I might DNF it, which is going so well. So far, this reading vlog is going so well. I haven't given you an update in quite a bit, but I did actually DNF The Devil Wears Black. I could not do it. And I actually took a picture of the quote that made me be done with the book. So we're in the perspective of the guy, of the male main character. First things first, get me out of there. I hated being in his head. But he says, go make yourself presentable, I muttered, stomping my way to the shower before I did more female things. Like blushing again, or maybe fucking swooning in her arms. I'm sorry, what? In what year are we? And he would say so many low-key misogynistic things. But I read that and I was like, no, I'm done. I'm done. If it was just that, it would have been fine. But it was kind of like the cherry on top of everything, because throughout the 15% of the book that I actually ended up reading, he would say misogynistic things. And at first I would look past it and I would be like, oh, it's just, you know, we're gonna have like a nice character arc. No, I don't see redemption for that character. I cannot fathom me actually liking that person. So I decided to DNF it. Yeah, I could not do it. I was 15% through the book and I literally could not do it. The things that he would say, the things that he would think about the female main character, who is the character that he is supposed to be in love with. At least he will be in love at some point. And the whole part of him constantly thinking that she tricked him into being her boyfriend. Like, bestie, you could have just left if you didn't want to. He would not take accountability of any of his actions. He literally cheated on her. And that was a big red flag, because personally, I think that a second chance romance, it's okay. I don't love it as a trope. It's not my favorite. Usually, I believe that if you broke up, there was a good reason for that and you shouldn't get back together. But I do always give the trope a chance, because there have been certain books that surprised me and made me think, oh, you know, a second chance romance is actually something that could be good. This was not it. He literally cheated on her and he did not take any accountability. He was like, she forced me to sleep with another person just because I was trying to get away from her treating me like her boyfriend and her acting like I am hers and all of that. No, babes, you just have attachment issues and like, it's not her fault. So that annoyed me so bad. On top of everything else, him saying, oh, I'm gonna leave before I do some more female things like blushing. Okay, yeah, I'm also gonna leave before I do some more male things like kicking this book to the garbage. So yeah, I am DNFing that book. I don't think that I'm gonna be reading more from this author. I know that when she writes with Parker S. Huntington, she's better, like I prefer the writing, but every single book that I have read from this author, like on her own, not for me. LG Sen, I'm not doing that again. So I decided to pick up another book and I was like, okay, I need something that I know is not going to be toxic masculinity. So I decided to pick up the third book in the Game Changer series by Rachel Reed, and that is Tough Guy. I wasn't excited about the book. I kind of just wanted to read it so that I can finish with the series and go into the last book, at least the most recent book that is out, which is about Ilya and Shane. So I ended up listening to the audiobook and I actually enjoyed it. Big shocker. I wasn't expecting it. I think I'm gonna give it 3 stars. It was very middle of the road kind of book, but I had fun with it. I basically binged the whole audiobook and I don't know how that happened. 1 minute I was 50% in and then the next minute I was 80% through the book. I enjoyed it. I had fun with it. It's not my favorite in the series. I would say that I definitely prefer the second book, which is Hidden Rivalry. Then it's probably this one and then the first one. The first one I don't like it at all because it is instant love and that's the one trope that I cannot do. I don't love second chance romance, but I understand that when it's done right, it can be good. Instant love? No, I cannot do it. There's no way. This is kind of like a second chance romance, but for the most part I would say just like they know each other. They were not together, broke up and then got back together. It's just there was a bit of history, so for that reason in my head it automatically cannot be an instant love. So I did enjoy it. I do feel like the writing is getting better and it made me excited to continue with the series and read the next book. So that's that. And then I ended up actually just looking at my winter TBR because we're in February and I have read I think 4 books from my winter TBR. So I went through and looked at it a bit and I saw A Cozy Holiday by Kels and Denise Stone. It's a very short one. It's close to 200 pages and I was really excited about it coming out. I really loved the premise of the book, so I decided to pick it up. I started reading it on my Kindle and I am actually really enjoying it. I am 45% through the book. It is a very short book, so 45% is 87 pages, but I'm still really excited because this is the first book of this year that I haven't had to force myself to pick up. Even Sinbin, which was another book that I read, you know, on my Kindle physically, I had to really force myself to kind of read it at some points. Yeah, it wasn't that bad, but I either had to take a lot of breaks or I had to force myself to just keep going and not get distracted. And the other two books that I tried to read on my Kindle, I ended up DNFing because I just could not do it, which it's not me, it's just the book was not for me. But you know, it feels nice to be able to read more than 50 pages in one day, and I'm actually having a lot of fun with it. I'm really enjoying it. Even from the first page, I actually had fun with it. Big shocker. I was starting to believe that maybe reading was done for me, like I wasn't a reader anymore, but I don't think that that's the case. This is about a doctor, a vet actually, and she finds her boyfriend cheating on her in their apartment, so she decides that she's going to find a place far away from New York, and she finds this ad on Craigslist about this guy needing a vet to take care of his reindeer, and she's like, yep, I'm doing it, this is me, I'm gonna do that. So she decides to go there and take care of the reindeer for him. So she's like, yeah, this is what I'm gonna do. And he ends up being a single dad. He has 2 daughters. It's a small town, and I am having a lot of fun with it. I'm loving their connection. It is a bit fast-paced, but I cannot really fault it for that because obviously it's 200 pages. It's a 200-page book. It needs to be a bit fast-paced. It's kind of a given, but it's not fast-paced in a bad way. It's not like they're saying I love you 50% through the book. No, it's just from the first moment they had this attraction and they started flirting a bit. I feel like usually there is sort of a period where there's no flirting, but they went straight into flirting, which I get it. Again, it's a very short book. It's a novella. I'm liking the characters. I'm liking the writing. I am hoping that we're gonna get to see more of the side characters too. But so far, I do actually want to keep going, and it's the first book that has made me feel like that. At least the first physical book that I'm reading and I'm not listening to. And I feel like that's a huge thing because I want to be able to read more physical books and not just listen to them. Not that there's anything wrong with listening to them. I still want to listen to a lot of audiobooks, but I want to be able to have the attention span to just sit down and physically read the book and not just listening to it while I'm doing other things. I'm liking it so far. I don't think that it's going to be a 5-star, but it could be 4 stars. It's leaning towards 3.5, but we'll see. I'm just excited and happy that I found a book that actually keeps me interested and is keeping my attention. I actually don't know when I last updated you. I keep forgetting. I think that it was right before I finished A Cozy Holiday. I did end up finishing that book. I really enjoyed it. I give it 3.5 stars. Highly recommend it if you're looking for a winter book. Yes, it was Christmassy, but I would argue that it's not anything crazy. So I would say that it's maybe even just like a wintry book. There's Christmas in it, obviously, but it's not crazy Christmas, throwing Christmas in your face. So I did really enjoy it, and I'm really happy that I did end up picking it up. So now I was between Gloves Off by Stephanie Archer, or I was thinking about picking up Sunk in Love by Heather McBreen, but I actually thought about it and I decided to pick up an audiobook from one of my favorite authors because A Cozy Holiday made me be excited about reading. So I really want to prolong that excitement, and I want to pick up a book that I know I'm going to love the writing. And that book is going to be Bound, I think it's called, by Ali Hazelwood. It's a novella. I would have tried to read it like physically, but from what I know, it's only a novella. Like you cannot get the physical book. This came out, I think, November, maybe October of this year, and it's a 7-hour novella. I don't know why I thought that it was a 3-hour one, but okay. So I'm really excited. I'm hoping that I'm gonna love it. I love Ali Hazelwood. She's one of my favorite authors, so I'm really excited to read this one. I don't know what it's about. I'm pretty sure that it's some sort of teacher-student situation, but I'm not 100% sure. We're gonna figure it out. So many emotions. I went from being scared of him to then not really liking him to then kind of liking him to now really liking him, and I'm like, what is going on? I'm confused. I finally got some clarity as to what everything is, what's happening in general, but I'm looking obsessed with him and he has an accent. I'm so confused. The whole book is not what I was expecting. I would say that I am 50% through it. And at first I was kind of confused because it started off kind of weirdly, not how I'm used to at least. It started off with the female main character kind of talking about how she ended up here, but we don't really know where the here is. So I don't know what is going on. I'm curious to figure out what the ending is going to be, because the ending, how she described it, how she kind of like talked about it, it was sort of implied that it wasn't good. But I'm thinking, obviously this is a romance, it might be a bit not like the classic contemporary romance, but it's still a romance, so it needs to have a happy ending, right? But so far, this is definitely like a slow burn sort of situation, because we're not seeing basically any attraction between the two characters, to the point where I'm questioning if this is even a romance. I'm kind of confused. Like maybe it's not. We really have not gotten any romance. I feel like this past chapter, we finally got some. Oh my gosh. I can't. I'm thinking about it and I'm like, oh my gosh, why am I obsessed with him? I barely know him. And I'm really loving the female main character, Veronica. I love her so much. At first I was questioning her life choices, because I was like, why are we doing something illegal right now? Like my anxiety was skyrocketing, but right now I'm better about it. I'm like, I sort of get it, girl. I understand. I'm so confused about how I feel about this book, but I'm loving it. The amount of times that, because usually when I'm listening to audiobooks, I'm doing other things in between, right? The amount of times that I have stopped what I'm doing just so I can listen to the audiobook and really focus on it. And I feel like that's a really good sign, and I cannot wait to see what's gonna happen. I'm curious. It's not what I was expecting. I was thinking that this would be like a contemporary romance, professor student sort of situation, but it's so much more than that. Yeah, it is a professor and student romance, but it's so much more than that. And I would say that whole aspect of it is minimal. Like it's so small that it's not even important. I think I get it. I think I understand what it was talking about in the beginning of the book. Guys, this is it. If you haven't read this, if you haven't listened to it, please just go ahead and listen to it. I cannot wait until this becomes a full book, because Duke and Play, which is another novella that she did, I think last year for Spotify again. Originally, it was just an audiobook, but recently it actually physically came out as a book. I cannot wait for this to become a book. I'm definitely gonna get it. It's so good and it's so interesting. It's keeping you entertained. It's keeping you interested in the story. I'm loving it so much.
She'll outdrink you, oversleep to the sound of 17 alarms. Lost in something, found her blushing. Hope she stays here in my arms. I don't know why she likes me, it's my luck, or probably the timing. I don't know why she likes me, says I'm cool, then goes into hiding. She's a movie and
I have updates. I think the last time that I updated you was when I was when I was halfway through Bound by Ali Hazelwood. I ended up finishing that book. I think I'm gonna give it 4 stars. So not quite a 5-star, but for a novella, pretty good rating. Usually I give them around 3.5 stars. I really enjoyed it. It was giving 5 stars feelings for a minute, but still would highly recommend it. And I definitely see myself re-listening to it in the future. That's what I did with Duke and Play. I think that's the other novella that she did with Spotify. I think 2025, I listened to that 3 times. So I definitely see myself in the future re-listening to that novella, and it really helped me get back into reading. I feel a bit more like myself. I don't know if that's just the timing was good, or if it was just the fact that I enjoyed the book so much and it felt like the writing that I love. But after finishing that book, I was like, I need to read more. I want to read more books. So I decided to pick up Gloves Off by Stephanie Archer. Guys, this is giving 5 stars. Throughout this whole video, I feel like you probably understood that I wasn't reading books as easily. I DNF'd 2 books, which is crazy for me. I think last year I DNF'd 10 books in total. So DNFing 2 books in like 2 weeks, that's insane. So I DNF'd 2 books, and in general, I was struggling to actually finish books. Even A Cozy Holiday, which was a book that I was enjoying, and it was on the shorter side. It was almost 200 pages. That book actually took me, I want to say 3 days to finish, which for me, that's a long time. Usually, I can finish a 200-page book, a 200-page novella in one day. But even though I was enjoying that book and I did want to keep going, it still was taking me longer than what it usually does. I started this book today, like nighttime. I think I started it like in the afternoon. I am on page 118, this much. If this was like a 300-page book, I would be almost halfway through. And the thing is, it's 12 o'clock, it's midnight, and I don't want to stop. I don't want to stop reading. An hour ago, I was like, I need to stop reading because I need to do my night routine. I need to go wash my face, brush my teeth, all of that stuff. And I was miserable that I had to put this book down. The whole time I was doing my skincare routine, I was like, why did I need to stop reading? I was wishing that I had the audiobook just so I can keep listening to the characters, listening to the book, because I'm obsessed with it. I love it so much. It's exactly what I needed. It's like the tension that they have, the banter between them, both of them being smartasses. It's so entertaining. It's so good. I'm hoping that it's not gonna get bad, because so far it's giving me the 5-star feeling. I'm thinking about it, and tomorrow I have to go to university, and I am so annoyed about it because that means that I will not be able to read this book until after I come back, and I'm so annoyed about it. And it also means that I do actually have to, you know, fall asleep because, like I said, it's midnight, and in 5.5 hours I'm gonna wake up, but I don't want to stop. The good thing is that I will have time to read it afterwards. Tomorrow it's going to be Tuesday, and I have one class that I need to go to university for, and then I don't have anything else. I'm gonna come home, and on Wednesday I don't have university, so I will have plenty of time to sit and binge this book. It's literally everything about this book. Is the characters, is the premise, it's the banter, the tension, and honestly, even the fact that the chapters are on the shorter side, everything about it makes it so good. I cannot wait to keep going, cannot wait to see, and I'm actually really excited that it is a really big book, because that means that I'm gonna get tension and I'm gonna get the build up, and they're gonna start really liking each other very gradually, which I think that sometimes with this sort of book, the characters, how they go from not really liking each other to being attracted and liking each other, sometimes it happens so fast, and I don't love it, and I think that it just takes you out of the story. Whereas this one, we already have gotten some hints of them being a bit attracted to each other, so we have the base of the attraction being there, even though it's like a small attraction. Then it's like they're gonna start to get to know each other, and they're gonna figure out that they actually really like the other person, and I'm so excited. I'm giggling at the fact that I'm reading this. I am able to read it. I am so happy with the feelings that it's giving me, because it has made me want to go and buy books. It has made me want to go and read so many books, and it has made me so motivated to kind of prioritize reading books that I really like, because sometimes I get caught up on the fact that maybe I have a physical book, you know, and I'm like, oh, I have the physical copy, I need to finish it. Or maybe it's a very popular book, so I'm like, oh, I need to finish it because it's a very popular book and I want to have an opinion about it. And obviously that's fine, everything like that is fine, but a lot of times I get scared that I need to keep going, because what if it gets better? And the thing is, if a book starts off being a 2-star, by the end of the book, maybe best case scenario, it's going to be a 3-star. I don't think that that book can be 4 stars or above. And honestly, I don't need more 3-star books. So I really need to think about it and not feel bad about DNFing books. This year in general, I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to DNF a lot of books, because I don't want to feel the obligation to finish a book, even though I'm not liking it at all. And I'm actually happy that I DNF'd 2 books in this video, because that means that I'm realizing that I don't need to read every single book. I don't need to finish books that don't bring me joy. I don't need to finish a book if I don't even want to pick it up. I'm gonna stop rambling and I'm gonna continue reading this book until I fall asleep, basically. Ignore the Christmas pajamas. Just because it's not Christmas doesn't mean that I'm not gonna wear them, because I really love them, and I do think that red looks really good on me, so I'm gonna still wear them even though it's not Christmas anymore. I just wanted to do an outro for this video because I sat down to edit it and I realized I never filmed an outro for this one. I did in fact find a 5-star read, and that is Loves Off by Stephanie Archer. I am so happy that I love this book. I did have an inkling that this could be 5 stars, but to be honest, a lot of times when I think a book is going to be 5 stars, it ends up not being. So I'm never sure. Just because I think that a book is going to be 5 stars doesn't always mean that it's going to be. I mean, obviously that makes sense, but I wasn't that sure about this, because even though it sounded right up my alley, it's like marriage of convenience, fake marriage, rivals, lovers, it's dislike to love, it's a sports romance. I love sports romances. We also have the found family aspect, because this is the 4th book in the series, so it had a lot of things that I knew I liked. but at the same time, this is the 6th book that I'm reading from this author, and all of them have been 3 point something. I think the highest rating that I have given a book from this author is 4 stars, and that was the book before this one, The Wingman, I think. Even though I knew that this sounded perfect, I knew that there were a lot of chances of me not actually loving it. And also, I did see a couple of people that I really trust their taste, and usually our tastes align, not liking this book, not loving it. But I did love it. I think that this is one of the best marriage of convenience books that I have read, and I think that this is one of the best books that I have read in a while, and I'm really happy that I found it. For me, the biggest indicator that I'm loving a book is obviously the fact that I cannot put it down, and this is what happened with me. I would constantly say, oh, just one more chapter, and then I would just read more and more. It did help the fact that the chapters are very small, but it was just so interesting. Stephanie Archer did an amazing job with never leaving you in a dull moment. There wasn't a single moment, a single chapter that I was like, I don't understand why this is here. And I think that's a huge accomplishment because we're talking about an almost 500-page book. That's a lot of words, that's a lot of pages, and it made me so excited to read the 5th book. I don't remember the name of it, but I'm really excited to pick that one up because now that I have seen what this author can do, I am so excited to just keep reading from them. And I hope that I'm gonna find more 5-star reads because for the longest time I have heard people raving about Stephanie Archer. And don't get me wrong, I did think that she was a good author. I did enjoy the books that I read, at least most of them. The only one that I didn't like is the first book in the series, which is Behind the Net. And I think I gave that around 2 stars, 2.5. I don't know why, I just liked it so much. But I remember finishing that book and being glad that it's done while everyone else was loving it. So I do want to eventually do a reread of that to see what was about it that I didn't like that much. But this is the first book where I have had this really strong feeling of love towards the book and really understanding why people think that this author is so good. I'm really happy. This is my first 5-star read of the year, and it's actually kind of crazy because I read this in February. I am the worst at actually sitting down and editing videos, but I did end up finding the first 5-star read of the year in February, which is insane to me. Last year, I think my first 5-star read was in April, maybe last days of March, and the year before that it was probably even later than that because I didn't have that many 5-star reads. But I think that having a 5-star read in February, it's unheard of for me, especially because if you really think about it, in January I didn't read a single page, a single word of a book, so technically I did find a 5-star read in the first month of the year, kind of. I'm really excited. I am really excited to order the 5th book in this series and pick it up, and I'm really excited that I found a 5-star read. I get such a joy from finding a new book to obsess about, and I'm doing like my reading journal right now, so I am just patiently waiting to do the spread about this book, and I'm so excited. There are so many little small things that I remember about this book that I want to put in that spread, and I'm just so excited to go back into it and annotate it because I do like to annotate my 5-star reads. If I don't annotate them the first time that I'm reading them, I do tend to maybe do a reread and annotate them then. But yeah, that's the end of this video. Let me see how many books it took in order to find a 5-star read. So we started off with Sinbin, then Something Like Fate, Tough Guy, A Cozy Holiday, Bound, and then Gloves Off. So it took me 5 books in order to find my 5-star read. Not that bad. I mean, if you think about the fact that my last 5-star read was in October, it's definitely more than that. We're talking about this year. It took me 5 books to find my first 5-star read of the year. That's crazy to me. That's genuinely crazy to me. But I'm so happy about it. I highly recommend picking up this book. But yeah, that's all I had to say. This is my first 5-star read of the year. I'm not gonna shut up about it. I am currently doing another video like this, and that's kind of like my goal, to just constantly be filming one of these videos, because I think that it just makes me focus a bit more on trying to read books that I actually think I'm going to like, and not just picking up random books that don't even have that much potential for me to like them, if that makes any sense. So be excited about that if you like these videos. I hope that you liked it, and I hope that I'll see you in my next one. Bye!
You give me butterflies when you smile, and it feels so good.